Hi everyone, welcome into this week's My Weekly CBS Fix. I hope you had a great week. In this week's Parasha's Toldos, we read about how Yitzchak and Rivka had prayed to be able to be blessed with children. And finally, Hashem gave them twins. Now, while Rivka, our foremother, was pregnant with these twins, she was in a little quandary. She didn't know what was going on because at times that she passed the synagogue, one child would go running. At times she would pass a house of idol worship and the other child would go running. And she wanted to know what was going on. And so she understood that to mean that one child would grow up to be great, and the other one in Torah study, and the other one would grow up to be an idol worshiper. So, and that is the simple understanding of what's going on. And she's actually told you're going to have two children, and one's going to, through that one child, there's going to be the Jewish people, and through another child, there's going to be a different nation. And that's a simple understanding. And others understand that to say, God forbid, such a child would never grow up in Yitzchak and Rivka's home, Isaac and Rebekah's home. Their home was an echo of their parents' home. Avram, greatness was going on over there. So why was Eisav running then towards the house of idol worship? The answer is he wasn't going there to serve idols, God forbid. He was going over there to pull everybody else out of there to make them serve Hashem. Meaning he's doing what we do, outreach, Jewish outreach, and he's trying to help other people. And that's exactly what his grandfather Abraham did, and that's what Yitzchak did. And so therefore, Eisav would continue in the same vein. Jacob started this new way of sitting and learning Torah all day. And so therefore, that was going to be his job, and therefore Yitzchak wasn't so worried about it as much as Rivka was. So the question then is, so what went wrong? What went wrong? If Eisav was really trying to run there to help other people, so what went wrong? Why did he fail? And we see today he did fail because none of his descendants are Jewish, completely different nation today. So what happened? What went wrong? So I would like to share two explanations with you. They're kind of connected, but the first explanation is that you have to always be very, very careful about the places that you go. If the place that you go to is a place of wickedness, ultimately you will be influenced by that. No matter how great of intentions you have, you will be influenced. So if you go into that place and over there you see them doing some really weird idol worship, so your first and their reaction is try to get everybody out of there as much as you can. But you keep going there and you start asking them, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And you start getting involved, and before you know it, you lose some of your sensitivity that you had towards idol worship. Or if you try to pull people out of a place where they're doing drugs, you're pulling people out, and eventually you start smelling it, you start becoming used to it, you start familiarizing yourself with all the different types. And before you know it, you may even start trying to do it yourself. Why? Because when you walk into the lion's den, eventually you're going to feed yourself to the lions. And if you want to help people, make sure they come to your house. Don't go there necessarily where wicked things are being done. Come to you. Which brings us to the second thing, that how does the Yetzer Hara work? How does the evil inclination work? You think he's going to tell a guy like me, hey, somebody go bow down to idols? No. So if it's not going to work on me, it's certainly not going to work on Eisav. So how does it work? So the Yetzer Hara first tells you, do this small little misstep, and do this small little misstep. But we say, today the Yetzer Hara tells you to do this, and then today he tells you to do that, and then the next day, slowly but surely, you're going down the slippery slope of, ultimately for some people, hell, Gehenna, and that's where you end up. And it's very, very scary. But you have to realize that the Yetzer Hara is trying to be really wily. He's trying to outsmart you and outthink you. And so what does he tell you to do? No, you're going there. You know why you're going to that house of idol worship? You're going to do a mitzvah. You're really going to do a good thing, and that's where you're going over there. And you get those people out of there, and you bring them over. And you have to realize, one second, a little stop sign over here, a little yield, proceed with caution. You have to go, well, what am I doing over here? Why am I doing this? Is this the right way to do it? Is there a better way to do it? And that is what always brings us to sin. And ultimately, like, how did I end up here? 10 years later, here I am. And I'm like surrounded by the worst people. Or 10 years later, I haven't grown at all. You know why? Because you're not associating yourself with good people, and you find yourself still in the same reality that you were in 10 years ago, even though 10 years ago you said, you know what, next year if 10 years from now I plan on being married and have a couple kids, still not married. Okay, what happened? Because you didn't make the proper adjustment to do that. 10 years ago you said, I'm going to start learning more Torah. What happened? You're still not doing anything. You're not on any level that you're at. 10 years ago you said, I'm going to learn a little bit more, but you're still not learning a little bit more. I'm going to keep mitzvahs a little bit. You're still not. Why? Because you're not putting yourself in the right company to be able to accomplish those goals. And so therefore, we have to realize that it's the Yetzer Hara that's fighting you. It's like, no, don't do it. You don't have to. You don't. It's a mitzvah if you don't go, and it's a mitzvah because you're not ready for it. The built-in excuses are always there for us not to be successful. Of course, though, life is all about being successful and not listening to the inclination. You got to show the inclination who's boss. Have a great Shabbos. Thank you.